Good morning, students. Here we go with the embryology lecture of lateral plate mesoderm. So therefore, lateral plate mesoderm, the embryological derivatives, and therefore we start straight away with the diagram of amniotic cavity. So first, this is a cross-sectional diagram. Please draw this diagram. This will be the amniotic cavity, very simple, and here this is the ectoderm. Similarly, below we will draw a very simple line diagram and we will make it fast. So this is the endoderm, coronal section, remember, amniotic cavity, yolk sac, ectoderm, endoderm, and surrounding, we know that there will be surrounding layer of extra embryonic mesoderm. So this is the extra embryonic mesoderm, or it is called the primary mesoderm. Similarly, now inside we are going to show the middle structure, that will be neural tube. So this structure will be the neural tube, and just below the neural tube we are going to show here notochord. So this will be the structure of notochord, neural tube and notochord. And also you can mark down these structures, the neural tube, and here we are going to mark this as the notochord, this structure. Then on either side we are going to show what we have discussed yesterday. This was the paraaxial mesoderm, somites. So I am going to write here somites, that is paraaxial mesoderm, that already we have discussed yesterday. Then here we are going to show this as the intermediate mesoderm. Now this was intermediate mesoderm. Now intermediate mesoderm is going to develop completely into urogenital system, urinary organs and reproductive organs. Please note down. So the structures that are developing from intermediate mesoderm will be the urinary organs and reproductive organs. So here we are going to write here intermediate mesoderm. Remember, what we are drawing are the derivatives of intraembryonic mesoderm. So already these structures we have discussed, and during the discussion of urogenital system, the intermediate mesoderm has been discussed. Now lateral plate mesoderm. So the entire lateral plate mesoderm, this is how the lateral plate mesoderm you have to show. So please show the lateral plate mesoderm in this way, and then we are going to understand. So this is the lateral plate mesoderm here, and this lateral plate mesoderm, what we have shown is cavity, and this cavity will communicate on either side with extra embryonic mesoderm. That is what we have shown. So in order to understand this cavity, this is the middle part of the stage of development of lateral plate mesoderm, we need to draw, similarly, please come on this side, we are going to draw this diagram in which we are going to see the entire embryo in a dorsal view, the pear-shaped embryo, and here we are going to show this lateral plate mesoderm. Please draw this lateral plate mesoderm in this way. So this is where we draw the lateral plate mesoderm, and what we are going to draw will be just behind it, the axis. So in the midline axis we are going to draw the precaudal plate. So therefore we are going to draw the buccopharyngeal membrane, that is precaudal plate. Here I am going to mark inside only precaudal plate. Behind that I am going to draw this neural tube. So therefore this is the neural tube. This is the central midline structure. Just caudal to neural tube we are going to draw with the primitive streak. So this is the area of primitive streak here, and we are going to mark this as the primitive streak. Caudal to primitive streak we are going to mark it as the cloaca. So here we are going to mark this as the cloaca, that is cloacal membrane, C. I am going to mark it as C. And caudal to cloaca we show extra embryonic mesoderm. So this will be connecting stalk. Just caudal to cloaca will be the connecting stalk, which we are going to mark it here. After drawing these structures, what we need to concentrate will be lateral plate mesoderm. Now the lateral plate mesoderm, and here of course we know this longitudinal groove on both the sides, 1 and 2. These two longitudinal grooves are called intermediate mesoderm. So we are going to mark this as intermediate mesoderm. And also we are going to mark, if you want, we can mark these cubical masses as the somites. So therefore, these are somites which we are marking on either side of the, these somites are on the either side of the neural tube. Paraaxial mesoderm, somites. So therefore, these structures, we can mark them as somites. Now the lateral plate mesoderm, initially, the lateral plate mesoderm is, if I fill this entire on either side, this lateral plate mesoderm on either side of the intermediate mesoderm, and this lateral plate mesoderm in the cranial most part, where my finger is there, in the central cranial most cephalic end, will be continuous with the pericardial area. So pericardial area, pericardial impression is the impression which is present cephalic to precaudal plate in the central midline axis of the embryo, which is contributed by the lateral plate mesoderm only. So therefore, this area will be known as the pericardial or cardiogenic area. Simple. So the lateral plate mesoderm in the central portion, central midline axis, in the most cephalic portion will have an area which is called pericardio area or cardiogenic area or pericardial area. So therefore, now here, this is the pericardial area where the future pericardium and heart will develop. The first change that will take place here will be, there will be development of a cavity within the pericardial area that is called pericardial coelom. So there will be development of a cavity here in the pericardial area. This is the cavity. So there will be first development of coelom in the pericardial area. So you can mention this as the pericardial coelom. That is the first cavity, pericardial cavity, development of a small cavity in the pericardial area, pericardial coelom. Later on, what will happen? Later on, there will be development of numerous cavities on either side. And what is either side? On either side of this central midline axis, the lateral plate mesoderm will have various cavities. So these cavities, these spaces which are created in the lateral plate mesoderm, and this lateral plate mesoderm is on either side, remember on either side of the central midline axis of the embryo, both on the right and left side, there will be numerous cavities, and these cavities now will fuse with each other. All these cavities will coalesce with each other and with pericardial coelom also. So therefore, as these cavities will fuse with each other, see this, what will happen? As these cavities will fuse with each other, a huge horseshoe shaped cavity is created, and therefore here we are going to draw, this will be the huge horseshoe shaped cavity. Here, please draw it correctly, this is a horseshoe shaped cavity which will communicate. On either side it will communicate, it will also open here with extra embryonic coelom. So I am drawing this arrow here in this direction and in this direction. Now because of the creation of this horseshoe shaped cavity in the entire lateral plate mesoderm, including the pericardial cavity, now it is continuous. The complete cavity which is formed in the lateral plate mesoderm, that cavity is now known as intraembryonic coelom. So it is called intraembryonic coelom, the entire cavity, horseshoe shaped cavity. Now this intraembryonic coelom will have a central, in the cephalic part, pericardial cavity. So where my finger is there, this is the pericardial cavity in the cephalic end, central midline axis, pericardial cavity. On either side of this pericardial cavity, these two are called coelomic ducts. They are also known as coelomic ducts. And this is also called pericardial cavity. Very simple. Continuous with each other. Pericardial cavity is continuous on either side with coelomic ducts, and together the entire cavity, including pericardial cavity, is known as intraembryonic coelom. Now here, the two sides, right and left sides, the intraembryonic coelom, they are continuous. Where I put the arrow, they are continuous with extraembryonic mesoderm, extraembryonic cavity. Remember the extraembryonic cavity, chorionic cavity. So here they are continuous with the extraembryonic mesoderm. Therefore, the fluid from extraembryonic mesoderm will pass into and it will irrigate the intraembryonic coelom. It will provide a nutrition to this intraembryonic coelom till the blood vascular system will develop. So this is how the intraembryonic coelom, which is present in the lateral plate mesoderm. So from lateral plate mesoderm there is development of intraembryonic coelom, and through intraembryonic coelom on either sides it will communicate with the extraembryonic mesoderm. Now, what will this intraembryonic coelom develop? The intraembryonic coelom will develop into the three major cavities of the human body: pericardial cavity, pleural cavity, and peritoneal cavity. The three cavities: pericardial cavity, pleural cavities, and peritoneal cavity. The three major cavities of human body are developed from this intraembryonic mesoderm, the intraembryonic coelom, from lateral plate mesoderm. Now, what will happen? As this cavity is created, the entire lateral plate mesoderm is split into two layers. How it is split into two layers? For that, we need to understand a cross section of this diagram, and that cross section is, please come on this side, coronal section. This is the same coronal section. So once we understand, because of creation of this cavity where my hand is there, where in the lateral plate mesoderm, which cavity is created? Intraembryonic coelom. The entire lateral plate mesoderm is split into two layers. Upper layer, which is present where? Just beneath the ectoderm. Upper layer of this lateral plate mesoderm, which is present just beneath the ectoderm, is known as somatopleuric layer of intraembryonic mesoderm, or simply it is called somatopleure. So here I am going to write this layer as somatopleure or somatopleuric layer of intraembryonic mesoderm. And the lower layer here, lower layer of the lateral plate mesoderm, because of the creation of this cavity, coelomic cavity, intraembryonic coelom, which is present along with this endoderm, will be known as splanchnopleuray, or it will be known as the splanchnopleuриc layer of intraembryonic mesoderm. So this layer, even here, this layer will be known as splanchnopleuray, present with endoderm. So what is somatopleure? Somatopleure is the upper layer of lateral plate mesoderm, which is lying below the ectoderm. And what is splanchnopleuray? Splanchnopleuray is the lower layer of lateral plate mesoderm, which is lying above the endoderm. Very simple. Now these entire two layers will communicate on either side. See here, they will communicate on either side with the extraembryonic mesoderm. So therefore, they are communicating on either side with the extraembryonic mesoderm. This is how they communicate because of the creation of this cavity. Now in this coronal section, if you imagine how this cavity is present, the horseshoe-shaped intraembryonic coelom cavity will be present. See here, it will be present in this direction, anterior, lateral to posterior, from cephalic end laterally, and it will extend posteriorly. So in this direction, the intraembryonic coelom is present, and we have cut the embryo in the coronal section. Very simple. To understand the somatopleure and splanchnopleuray. And which is the extraembryonic mesoderm which is surrounding here? The extraembryonic mesoderm which is surrounding the embryo will be from superior to lateral to inferior direction. That means the entire embryo along with the coelomic cavity, intraembryonic coelom, is surrounded by extraembryonic mesoderm, extraembryonic cavity, that is chorionic cavity. So at this stage, extraembryonic cavity, extraembryonic mesoderm, which has a cavity which is called chorionic cavity, will surround the entire embryo from superior to lateral to inferior. And inside, we are having that anterior to lateral to posterior horseshoe-shaped cavity, which is known as intraembryonic coelomic cavity. Therefore, this is how the two cavities are there. Externally, extraembryonic, the extraembryonic mesoderm, which is having a cavity which is called chorionic cavity, and internally there is a small horseshoe-shaped cavity directed from cephalic to anterior to lateral, and that will be known as the coelomic cavity, intraembryonic coelomic cavity. This is how you need to understand. So therefore, now our lateral plate mesoderm, the entire lateral plate mesoderm has split into two layers, somatopleurae, splanchnopleurae, and it is converted into the cavity, horseshoe-shaped cavity, directed from cephalic part anterior to lateral. Now, what will this lateral plate mesoderm, after the development of cavity which is known as intraembryonic mesoderm, intraembryonic coelom, intraembryonic coelomic cavity, will develop into? So it will develop into the entire lateral plate mesoderm after its stage, after it has reached this horseshoe-shaped cavity as intraembryonic coelomic cavity, will develop into the following structures. Now, please write down the following structures. We need to mention the following structures. So, we are going to please come on this side. After understanding this, the following structures are developed from lateral plate mesoderm. And what are those following structures? We start with, first we take smaller structure. So structure number 1, angiogenic mesoderm. Please write down. Angiogenic mesoderm. So we are starting from least to maximum. So first structure to develop from lateral plate mesoderm is angiogenic mesoderm. What will this angiogenic mesoderm develop into? Very important. It will develop into the endocardium. MCQs, so many MCQs are asked in this way. It will develop into endocardium, the endocardial layer of the heart, endocardium. Next, it will develop into, here I am writing down, endothelium of what? Blood capillaries as well as the lymph capillaries, endothelial lining of blood capillaries as well as lymph capillaries. Then it will also develop into circulating blood cells. So circulating blood cells, please note down. And it will also develop into microglia. Please note down, microglia. Along with microglia, they are also called tissue phagocytes. So these are asked in MCQs. What are the structures that are developed from angiogenic mesoderm, and what is angiogenic mesoderm? Angiogenic mesoderm will develop from lateral plate mesoderm only. So endocardium, then endothelial lining of blood capillaries, lymph capillaries, then there will be development of circulating blood cells, also there will be development of microglia or tissue phagocytes. Then structure number 2. Now here we go with structure number 2 from lateral plate mesoderm. Interesting structure, septum transversum. So septum transversum. Now this septum transversum, how do you define? Septum transversum is the cephalic most portion present in front of pericardial cavity, and it is a triangular mass of intraembryonic mesoderm itself, in which there is no extension of coelomic cavity. So if I want to show here, in this diagram, if I want to show septum transversum, see here, I am going to show septum transversum just in front of pericardial cavity. Please mark this as septum transversum. So in front of pericardial cavity here, what I have drawn, I can mark this structure as septum transversum. And remember, it is the portion of intraembryonic mesoderm in which there is no creation of this cavity, intraembryonic coelomic cavity. And where is this septum transversum present? Just cephalic to pericardial cavity. So please come on this side. So therefore, this septum transversum will develop into, diaphragm, and second structure, very important, fibrous pericardium. Fibrous pericardium. Many times this is asked in MCQ, fibrous pericardium, that is from septum transversum. Septum transversum from lateral plate mesoderm. Which portion of lateral plate mesoderm? That I already have explained it to you. The portion of lateral plate mesoderm with pericardial cavity, in which There is no extension of intraembryonic coelomic cavity. Very simple. So this is septum transversum. Now the third structure from lateral plate mesoderm. Third structure, splanchnopluric layer of lateral plate mesoderm, that we have understood on that side. Splanchnopluric layer of lateral plate mesoderm, which is in contact with the endoderm. What are the structures developing from splanchnopluric layer of lateral plate mesoderm? Very interesting. The structures that will develop from splanchnopluric layer will be, let us mark, first structure, visceral layers of all the three cavities. So please note down the visceral layers of all the three cavities: peritoneal cavity, pleural cavity and pericardial cavity. Peritoneal cavity, pleural cavity, P, P and P. That means pleural cavity, pericardial cavity and peritoneal cavity. Which layer? It's visceral layer. Then splanchnopluric layer of lateral plate mesoderm will develop into, this is also very interesting, all the smooth muscles and connective tissues, of three different systems. Which are those three different systems? Number one, alimentary system, that is the gut tube. Number two, respiratory system. And number three, cardiovascular system. These three systems. So the smooth muscles and connective tissues of these three systems. And then it will also develop into this splanchnopluric layer will develop into the adrenal cortex and spleen and lymph nodes. So please note down adrenal cortex, then spleen and lymph nodes. And finally, this splanchnopluric layer of lateral plate mesoderm will develop into, this is also asked in MCQ, it will develop into myocardium. Remember, myocardium of the heart, and also serous pericardium. In this way the MCQs are formed. Serous pericardium is developed from splanchnopluric layer. Even the myocardium is developed from splanchnopluric layer. MCQs. The fibrous pericardium is developed from septum transversum. These are the MCQs. Please note it down. And then we come to number 4. Now number 4, the structure number 4 from lateral plate mesoderm. Structure number 3 was splanchnopluric layer of lateral plate mesoderm. Now structure number 4, somatopluric layer of lateral plate mesoderm. The somatopluric layer of lateral plate mesoderm. What will it develop into? Slowly we are going. Very interesting. Here it will develop into the first structure, parietal layer of all the three cavities. So please write down parietal layer of all the three cavities. Which cavities? Pleural cavity, peritoneal cavity and pericardial cavity. This is many times asked in MCQs. Visceral layer of all these three cavities will develop from splanchnopluric layer, and parietal layer of all these three cavities will develop from somatopluric layer of lateral plate mesoderm. Please note down. Similarly here, either they are called splanchnopluric layer of lateral plate mesoderm or splanchnopluric layer of the intraembryonic mesoderm. Both are one and the same. Or this is also known as somatopluric layer of lateral plate mesoderm or somatopluric layer of the intraembryonic mesoderm. Both are one and the same. But see the difference. Splanchnopluric layer will develop into the visceral layers of the three cavities, and the somatopluric layer will develop into the parietal layers of these three cavities. Now second interesting point. This somatopluric layer will develop into dermis. Yes, dermis, remember. Dermis, which portion of the dermis? Now this is very important. The ventrolateral area of the body wall. So the ventrolateral area of the body wall of the dermis, the entire dermis over the ventrolateral area of the body wall will develop from somatopluric layer. Now if you recollect, in somites I had discussed with you sclerotome, myotome, dermatome. That dermatome from the paraxial mesoderm, from the somites developed into dermis, but that dermis was limited to dorsal region of the body wall. Here this dermis which is developing from the somatopluric layer is limited to ventrolateral body wall. Please note down. And then comes the most important factor, the most important structure developed from somatopleuric layer, and that is development of the bones of appendicular system. Development of the bones of which system? Upper limb, oblique, lower limb, appendicular system. The entire bones of the appendages, upper and lower limb, will develop from somatopleuric layer. And along with that, there will be development of cartilages. There will be development of cartilages, specialized connective tissue. Along with that, somatopleuric layer will develop into, also very interesting, this somatopleuric layer will develop into dura mater. Please note down. Dura mater will also develop from this layer, and this somatopleuric layer will develop into superficial fascia, oblique, deep fascia. So whenever during dissection we come across superficial fascia and deep fascia across the dissection of all the regions, these fascia will be developed from somatopleuric layer, and the somatopleuric layer will develop into ligaments, tendons and aponeurosis. Please note down, the ligaments, tendons, aponeurosis, they will develop from somatopleuric layer of the intraembryonic mesoderm or somatopleuric layer of lateral plate mesoderm. So the most important point will be the parietal linings of the three cavities. Second will be, there will be the dermis, that is ventrolateral portion of the body wall, dermis of the ventrolateral portion of body wall. Third will be derivative of the bones, the entire bones of upper and lower limb, and these are the remaining points: superficial fascia, deep fascia, etc. You need to understand the ligaments, tendons and aponeurosis, and the cartilages which will develop from the somatopleuric layer of lateral plate mesoderm. So here we finish the entire lateral plate mesoderm, its derivatives. Thank you very much.